Okay, thank you. Welcome to everybody. Welcome to the City of Eureka Springs Boza Planning Commission regular meeting. Today is March 11th. It is 6 p.m. and we're in the basement of the auditorium. The first item on this is going to be a public hearing. Conditional use permit application for 33 Ridgeway. Renee Roberts is the applicant. Is Renee Roberts here? Okay, come on up to the microphone. And make sure the button's on there.
It's blue.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
And talk into the microphone. Just tell us about your application.
Okay. Hi, I'm Renee. I am a nationally certified Pilates instructor. I and my parents, I just recovering from food poisoning, so I'm not all here. But we just redid our basement, and I'm applying for a permit so that I can just conduct private Pilates instructing to clients one-on-one in a very small section of my basement with new certified equipment that I just purchased this year. I've been a Pilates instructor for 8 years in different cities and different studios. My goal is to promote health and wellness. I recover a lot of people from like MS and different like aberrations of the spine, and provide a lot of help to people that I really love to do. My parents are also getting up in age, so it's just really nice to be at home and also help them as well. So that's what I'm applying for.
Okay. All right. Any questions? No? Okay.
I have a public comment.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. That's public comments.
It says, "Dear Commissioners, Pam and I have no issues with the application in question at 33 Ridgeway. We live 2 houses away from the property and might make use of the classes ourselves. Thank you, Richard Quick, 19 Ridgeway."
Any others? That's it?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Okay. Is there anyone else in the audience that want to talk about this application? Okay. Seeing none? All right. Therefore, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing.
Make a motion to close the hearing.
I second it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The public hearing is hereby closed at 33 Ridgeway, and we will see you. We'll have you on the agenda further down. So, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, if I can get the Tom to do a roll call, establish a quorum.
Ansel Lee.
Here.
Mike Willett.
Here.
Fergie Stewart.
Here.
Dave Budicali.
Here.
Susan Hallman.
Here.
And staff person Cassie Dishman is here, and I'm present, Tom Buford.
Okay. We have a quorum. We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so first off, we're going to go into the Board of a Zoning Adjustment. I need an approval of the current agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the agenda in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Okay, all in favor? Okay. If there's anybody in the audience that want to make public comments for the Board of Zoning. Anyone? Okay, not seeing anybody move to the mic. Okay. Unfinished business, we have none. New business. We have an application for tree removal at 135 Spring Street. Mike Laurel, applicant. Removal of 9 trees causing damage to structure. Is Mike Laurel here today? Okay, yes. Come on up to the microphone. Okay, can you state your name and your address?
Mike LaRue. My address is actually out on road, County Road 154, but this is for customer.
Is your microphone on?
I can hear it.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
This is for customer. At the
Okay, yeah,
palace.
that's fine. Okay, can you state, go over your application? Can you define the applicants and the trees that are going to be cut?
Well, he has 9 trees that his insurance company has told him that need to be removed or he's going to get his insurance canceled again. This has happened before. And I think that all 9 of the trees meet at least 2 criteria on the city ordinance to remove the trees.
Motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Well, I have a question, no, not for this gentleman, but is Paul Sutherland here?
No.
No, Jess Serrano is here, his assistant.
Say again?
Jess Serrano, his assistant, is here. But
Okay.
Paul Sutherland is not.
Okay. I just, I see that, I don't see the building inspectors.
It's on the back page. It's right here.
Okay, great, yeah. I visited the site, and I see that the trees are causing some issues that need to be addressed. I just didn't see Paul's endorsement, so thank you.
It is his recommendation that the trees are removed due to the insurance requirement.
Thanks.
Is there any, I mean, if it's gotten that serious with an insurance company, is there any written evidence from the insurance company that states that? Surely, he states that it's been twice now that he may have canceled a policy. An insurance company wouldn't do that without issuing a written notice.
Not that the building department has received.
They do have a written notice?
No, we have not.
Well, separate and distinct from other matters relate to the approval of the tree ordinance. If you're stating that one of the key reasons that you want to remove the trees is because you can't get insurance and you've been threatened with cancellation, I would think that there would be written notice of that.
I'm sure we can acquire it if the owner has it.
Has anybody seen any written notice from the insurance company?
I haven't seen any notice from the insurance company, but this is a pretty common issue that I've dealt with many times with insurance companies. And regardless of the insurance, it still meets at least 2 criteria that's clearly stated in the ordinance. So, I mean, even if we didn't have the insurance.
Totally understand.
Okay.
No pushback. That's a separate matter. But when you make statements to the planning commission, a key reason why you want something is because some third party is threatening you with cancellation. I'm suggesting that it might be a good idea to provide evidence of that. That doesn't affect my decision necessarily in the context of the ordinance. But I'm just saying that might be a good idea. That's all.
Anyone else? Anybody else? Any more discussion? Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the tree cut at
9 trees.
130.
135 Spring of 9 trees.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the application at 135 Spring Street. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay. 1 abstain, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 approvals. All right. So it's passed. So you're approved for your tree cuts.
Thank you.
I'll get you your paperwork tomorrow, Mike.
This one. All right. Okay. Next, we have another tree removal application, 11 Pinecrest, Jay Gustafson, owner. Removal of 4 trees for new construction.
Is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jay Guston. We need to remove 4 trees for a new home construction at 11 Pinecrest Lane. The 4 trees, so you'll know, are all oak trees. 3 of them are not very large. 1 of them is quite large. We've moved the house around as much as we can to avoid taking out any more trees. We're trying to take out as few as possible. The building inspector's been out and helped me look it over, and you may have a report from him, I don't know. He met with me today and said he'd be out of town this evening. Anyway, that's what I'm here for, is permission to remove these trees. Now, we will come back with new plantings also once we get these out and the construction done.
Okay. All right. We do have a copy of his letter, the code officer's letter.
Do you have the letter?
Yes.
Well, that's what I understood.
Okay.
And if I can shed any more light on this in any way, just ask me.
Okay, well, hang on. Motion to discuss?
Second.
Okay.
Motion to discuss.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't have any questions.
Any questions? Any questions for anybody? Okay, look like we're good.
Motion to approve the tree cut of 4 trees at 11 Pinecrest.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the tree cut at 11 Pinecrest, removal of 4 trees for new construction. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, 1 abstention. All right.
Excuse me.
Okay, that's it. You're approved, sir.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you, and I want to say thank you for all the public service you people are doing here.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a great evening.
All right. All right, next we have a tree removal application, 150 Passion Play Road. Jeff and Heather Carter, owners, removal of 16 trees for new construction. All right, there they are.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Okay, go ahead. Jeff, if you want to go tell us about the trees and why you're having to cut them.
So all of these trees are in the build path of the cabins. So we approached you guys November. All of the trees that we're looking to cut now are either in the build path of the building or they're in the build path of the parking lot.
Right.
All right, so I have a question. Parking lot, what's going on in the parking lot? Gravel or blacktop?
It's a gravel lot, yeah.
It's a gravel lot?
Yeah.
So, since it's gravel, is there a reason why you have to cut those trees all down in that parking lot?
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the building, but not a parking lot.
Yeah, we have to cut those for the fire truck to get in. Sorry.
So all of those trees are in the way of a fire
Yeah.
in and
Yes.
out?
Yeah.
For the egress for the fire trucks.
So,
Can I say a question?
Go
Go ahead, Dave.
so you're,
To be clear, there's only three trees in the way of the parking.
It says 5 trees, proposed parking lot.
Yeah, five trees, yeah.
Right.
so this request is being made in connection with a prior application which was approved by the Planning Commission?
Correct.
Right? Separately, it's being made in connection with the review of the fire department?
Yeah, I met with Paul and James, and, James was wanting to make sure that we could get the fire truck into the front of the cabin and get it in and out safely. So those 3 trees have to be, there's 3 big trees there that need to be removed for him to be able to get in and out.
Is, we don't have anything to that says anything about that. I mean, that would have been helpful to,
This says anything about what?
We specified
About-
under
about
each
the,
tree that was being cut, the ones that were specifically for the egress.
yeah, I don't have anything from Paul that says
And this is on the back.
those reasons.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Mike.
Is this on the back? You've got a really ambitious project out there, and I wish you the best of luck. Is it on the backside? Is it
It's
talking about
to
the fire truck egress? Because I've been back there. Is that where you're talking about the trees being removed is most primarily in the back for the egress for the fire trucks?
No, so when you pull in off of Passion Play Road, there's that additional driveway that we put in.
Yeah.
And that driveway there's 3 trees in that area in the front,
Okay.
between the cabins and Passion Play Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's 3 trees, not 5?
Well, there's 3 big trees that are in the way, and then there's 2 more little pine trees. They're about this big around that we requested to be cut, where there would be a car that would come in there. They're not the main ones I'm not even concerned about, but sorry, I just had sinus surgery. You guys are wondering why I'm bleeding.
So those are the 3 6-inch pines that you're talking about?
Yes.
Whereas the others are the big ones?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Yes, Michael. Go
I
ahead.
move that the Eureka Springs Board of Zoning Adjustment approve the tree removal permit application proposed for 150 Passion Play Road based on this agreed summary of facts presented.
Can we still discuss?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
excuse me, no, you can,
Okay.
if I move it, then we have to
Yeah, we
second it. If nobody seconds it, you can.
Want to take your second back?
I take my second back.
Okay. So I know that if we approve this, you're saying that you will put more trees back in?
Yeah, so
We've got how many trees total? We've got 14, right? Was it 14?
16.
16 trees.
16.
Do we want to make a request in our motion that they replace X number of trees based on our ordinance? How many do they have to replace based on the tree ordinance, Tom? Do you remember?
I think it depends on the size or whatever.
Right. I'm sorry, I forgot my book in the car.
Well, if they're 8 to 12 inches, you got to replace one. 12 to 24, 2, large diameter 3.
Right, so the majority of these are 8 or above.
So 16
So I've got two 12-inch, one, well, the 6-inch doesn't matter, 120, 113, 18, 110, 111, 113, 110, 115, 114, and 119. So average is probably, I'd say 14 to maybe about 14 inch.
Mm-hmm.
I know if we never put it on the certificate, it may never happen.
Right.
Well,
Sir?
two,
I mean,
I'm
we can
happy,
require a
I'm
bond.
happy to put trees in. I mean, that's
Oh, sure.
part of our plan already. So if you guys want me to put in trees, we're happy to put in a tree.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's just, in the ordinance,
Yeah.
there's a certain number that are supposed to go in.
Well, it also says if any person who's required to plant replacement trees must put up a performance and payment bond.
I think we could stipulate to a time frame. Look, I'm not one to stand in the way of progress. The real issue here is a matter of precedent and establishing mitigating factors to support that precedent, right? So that's really the biggest issue we want to promote and do what we can to encourage people to increase tax revenue, sales, and development of properties in city limits.
I don't think anybody is
But I
arguing
think
that.
Can I speak?
Go ahead, Mike.
Sir, would you verbally commit to a certain amount of tree replacement you would do right now?
Yeah,
So we can consider this right now, that we can go forward with maybe this application?
Yeah, absolutely. We already have a plan to put in some new trees where we've got some trees. And I don't know much about trees, so we're actually working with somebody to help us bring in trees. But I'm happy to replace the trees. We really want to bring in flowering trees. We have a designated area on the back of the property where we'd like to have bees and beehives so that they can help populate. I mean, this is a much bigger project for us than just what we're doing, this month or even this summer. But we're absolutely happy to.
If we don't have if we have a concrete amount of tree replacement based on the code that we can propose right now, I could say that we can interject that.
That's what I'm saying.
You have the number?
Well, I was just asking Tom because I don't have it here in front of me. So if we've got, let's see, 11 trees that are within that range. So is it 2 or is it 1 per?
It's
It's based on the size.
just one, I think it's, if 8 to 12 inches, just one per, 12 to 24, 2. So what, I don't, so,
There's no 24s here? No.
yeah, so it'd be one.
Okay, so
2,
we've got 8,
2,
Yeah, 8
Yeah.
trees, yeah.
3, 4,
but we've got some that are bigger. That would be 2.
7, 8, 9, 10. I count 10.
About 10 trees?
10 trees. Could you?
Okay. I just know that
That's-
when we haven't put it on the,
Right.
Yeah. Sir, would you commit to replacing 10 trees
Oh, absolutely.
verbally right now for the record?
Yeah. On the record.
Is that agreeable?
Yeah.
but it'll be on the certificate.
I'll mark them, send you pictures.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, if you look at the tree ordinance, it gives you a list of the trees we recommend that you plant.
Okay.
If you get a copy of that, it'll have a list of trees that are native to the area that
Sure.
can survive or whatever.
No,
And
we're
that'll
happy
kind
to
of give
do
you
it.
guidance of what to plant back.
Yeah.
Great.
So my understanding is the approval would be subject to mitigation of following the ordinance to replace specific number of trees, and I think Cassie,
Right.
you know exactly what we're saying, specific number of trees, and I don't know that we need a performance bond, but I don't think it would be unusual, and it's certainly not inconsistent with planning ordinances in other cities to allow a time frame for that to happen, right? So we don't need to put them under gun to that
What
be
is
done in
the-
90 days. But
When are you thinking the project's going to be done? How long do you think your project is? 2 years? A year?
Phase 1, we hope we'd like to be done this year with phase 1, and then move into phase 2 next year.
Okay, but all of the trees that you're cutting down are in locations of the,
This will be all phase 1, so I could do them all in the next 12 months.
right. And as far as planting them, you know where the cabins are going?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I would give them, I would say a year.
12 months.
Right?
And then put it
Yeah.
on a tickler file, Cassie, just to,
Right.
yeah, make sure. Not that you don't have anything else to do, so.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we approve the tree cuts at 150 Passion Play Road with the criteria that we have requested 10 trees be replaced in place of the ones that were cut to be
1 year.
completed within 12 months.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay, we got a second? Anything else, Michael? No? You
Well,
good?
she seconded it, so I had one more.
Okay, okay.
Never mind.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, okay, you're
you, guys.
approved? All right.
Hey, by the way, Paul's doing a really fantastic job.
Thank
I just want to shout out to Paul. He's really good at communicating, and he's on top of things.
Cool beans.
Thank you. All right. Next, we have another tree removal application, 32 Kings Highway. Lee Turner, owner. Lee Turner here. Removal of one hazardous tree. Okay, come on up again. There we go.
I didn't do the permit for her, but I did inspect it, and I'm contracted to do some other work at that property, so I can tell you that it is in fact damaging the retaining walls, and one of them's already partially collapsed, as a matter of fact, so that's what that's about.
I just have a question.
Motion to discuss?
Motion to
Second.
discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
Which applications are they supposed to be here and which ones do they not have to be here?
That should be stipulated in code. From what I have seen, and anyone's welcome to, that has their code book is welcome to check me right now, but from what I understand, the only one that stipulates the applicant has to be here is the CUP application.
The CUPs? Okay.
Any discussion? Any other? Go ahead.
Has Paul Sutherland made a recommendation on this tree?
Yes, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay, great. No questions then?
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay.
I make,
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the tree cut at 32 Kings Highway of 2 trees.
Second.
Second.
All right. We have a motion and a second for the approval of 32 Kings Highway. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, one abstention. All right. All right, thank you. You're approved.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we've got a tree removal application, 6 Eccles. Shannon Hill, owner, removal of one hazardous tree. All right.
Whoa, that's loud. I brought some extra pictures. I don't know if that one's enough. I don't know what Paul Sutherland brought.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Oh.
Good. Okay.
But my name is Shaman Hill, and that's a big pine tree. It's probably like 30, 40 feet tall, but it's been leaning probably from the peak of it down to the ground, away from the base, is probably like 20 feet. And it's been leaning and getting closer and closer to the house. And it says, I think it says he put it's overhanging the deck, but it's not overhanging the deck, it's overhanging the house. And there's some other pictures in there where the neighbor's tree just went down like 2 months ago, the pictures that we're passing around right now. And then there's another 2-pack of pine trees down the hill that have, in the last 2 weeks, have leaned over dramatically. So
This is just for the one, though?
Right.
this is just for that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was just showing you different.
Motion to discuss?
Second.
Second.
Okay.
I have a question. I just want this clear, because you emailed me, but it was after I'd sent out, posted the agenda and sent out packets. Is this tree cut for 6 Eccles or for 7 Eccles?
Well, it's 7. It's
Okay.
right across the
So
street.
we'll need to correct that on the application, and whoever makes the motion should make sure they say 7 Eccles.
7th. Okay. All right.
I make a motion that we grant this tree removal at 7 Eccles.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the approval of 7 Eccles tree cut application. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, 1 abstention. All right, you're approved.
All right, thank you.
So I need a motion to adjourn the Board of Zoning.
Motion to adjourn Board of Zoning.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No? All right. Next, we're going to go into the Planning Commission meeting. Approval of agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, any opposed? No? Okay. Public comments for the Planning Commission. Anybody, public comments, Planning Commission? Anybody? No? Okay. All right. Unfinished business, there's none. New business. We have a conditional use permit application, 33 Ridgeway. Renee Roberts, applicant. Application for home occupation. All right.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
The only question I have is about parking. It says that you're going to HDC for parking.
Yeah, so Daniel Ledbetter just got a permit through to put that parking space on our property.
Yes, that COA was issued last Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I didn't know if they had already done it or not.
Anything else? Nope.
Motion to approve the conditional use permit for home occupation at 33 Ridgeway.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the conditional use permit application for 33 Ridgeway. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, all good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, and she'll get, I guess we're after your...
Yeah, I'll get you your paperwork tomorrow.
Thank you.
And next, we have a commercial demolition application, 12 South Main Street. John Bordeaux? Yes, sir. Applicant. Demolition of rotten porch and addition. All right, okay. Tell us about your application.
Well, at the back of 12 South Main, we had it's basically an old porch that they put walls and a roof on, and it was getting pretty shaky, and it started out as a repair, and when we started peeling it back, we realized how cobbled together everything was, and it was no longer safe to keep up whatsoever. So I did things a little out of order here, but I did go ahead and tear it down because it was already it's already a troubled space. It was always a porch, though, in addition, so there's siding on the back of the building still. But we're just wanting to put it back the way it was as far as aesthetics go and, you know, build it more properly with some insulation and so on, make it more useful for the tenants at 12 Main and 12.5 South Main.
Okay. All right, motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Okay, go ahead.
It's going to be the same size, correct?
Yep. Yeah, the cinder blocks, the footprint, the foundation is all still there. So we're going to keep that the same. The only thing that we might end up changing is where the gas lines come in at. But I'm going to be working with Mr. Wade with Black Hills on that. So that would be the only real change.
Anything else?
By historic rules, are they required to put it back on? Is it part of the historic building, or is it?
They're not required to, that is their choice, and they have already gotten approval from HTC.
They did, okay. Okay.
All right.
Motion to approve the demolition, that's what we're doing, right?
Yep.
Of the back porch at 12 South Main.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second for the approval of the demolition application for 12 South Main for the demolition of the Rotten Porch addition. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it passes. Okay, we got that one done. All right.
You could probably just stay there. We're having.
Yep.
John, just stay up there.
Put it back down.
All right. Now we have a new commercial construction application, 12 South Main. John Bordeaux, applicant, construction of new addition in footprint of previous addition. Go ahead, John.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right, we have, go ahead. Questions to the applicant? Any questions? Any questions? Anything else you want to say?
I'll just say that we're matching the siding and the paint and everything else, so aesthetically it'll be exactly the same.
Okay, and we've got Historic Commission, okay. All right,
Motion to approve the new back porch at 12 South Main.
Second.
all right, we have a motion and a second to approve the new commercial construction application at 12 South Main, construction of new addition and footprint of previous addition. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, good deal, passed.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right, now we get to commission business. Lot size discussion. Tom?
Okay. We talked a little bit about the reducing the lot size from 4,000 square feet down to 3,200 square feet, and also adjusting the variances from 10 feet down to 6 or 8 feet on either side of the house.
Was it, I
Cassie,
think it was 8.
Is this
wasn't it?
what district is this in?
R1.
R1 district. And there was some discussion about whether we should go a step further and reduce parking space. I think tonight I would just like to get the input of the planning on what you think about doing reducing the lot size down from 4,000 down to 3,200. And also, what do you think about the setbacks, either 6 or 8 feet rather than 10 feet as there are now?
Yeah, I think we talked about I think instead of how it is written today, it's like a total, and I think we should just do it like front and back, so many feet.
I think the front, goes along with what's there already on the front. In the back, is there, what the setback is? I was just talking about the side. I wasn't really adjusting the back.
Okay, yeah.
We just need to make sure that we're following fire code too. So
Right.
I wouldn't be comfortable with 6 foot. I would think 8 would make more sense.
Question is, if we're going to reduce the lot size from 4,000 to 32, whatever that compression is, shouldn't all of the setbacks be compressed to compensate for that 800 square foot loss? I mean, if you have a 10 foot now, if you're going to pull the lot size down, it would probably pull the setback automatically to 8 foot or something.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Or am I just, I'm just saying if you compress the lot size, then the setback size should also compress also.
But would you feel comfortable with 6 foot or 8 foot?
Yeah.
Because,
I don't.
you know, what if you've got two properties that are right next to each other that are 3,200 square feet? Then if you've only got a 6 foot,
Yeah.
you know, we have to make sure that our fire code allows for
correct.
that distance between the two buildings anyway. And I would feel more comfortable as a draft saying 8 foot than I would 6 foot.
I agree.
I generally agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
And we're only talking in the context of new construction here.
Right.
Because you know what may happen if we have setbacks, side setbacks, which are greater than that at some existing structure. They may come to put a deck on or an addition that may say, well, you're approving new construction for 8 foot. Why wouldn't you? We're at 15 feet now, 12 feet. Why wouldn't you approve an addition? You know, what is the precedent for that? So I'm not arguing against it. I'm just saying we need to take that in context.
Is there a way to legally say that, you know, you can't, an existing setback can't come back and apply that 6 foot setback to so it's just new construction only? As
New
of this
construction
date?
only.
Yeah, I thought it was for new construction,
Yes.
Right.
to take advantage of the small lots that are still left in residential.
Yeah, but you know what's next. This may not be now, but it's a year from now, 2 years from now. Well, wait a minute. It's okay to build new, but we've invested all, you won't allow us to go up to 8 foot of the boundary line for our addition or our 7? I agree 100% that it should be limited to new construction, but.
Well, we're getting, people requesting variances now of the setbacks.
And they could ask for a variance.
This is just one way of just simplifying the process rather than having to go to the planning commission to get a variance. We could, reduce the variance on the.
But they could ask
Well, the
for a
reduction of lot
variance.
size from 4,000 to 3,200, I think that's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, a lot of lots are 3,200, so.
So I was going to defer to Tom, that if you feel, what distance you feel for the setback is going to be reasonable and effective and safe for a 3,200 square foot lot size. What do you think?
Well, you want to, Susan's suggesting getting the fire marshal to sign off, so you want to do something
Yeah, I'll make a
6
note
or 8
to-
and ask whatever y'all want to agree to, and then go to the fire marshal subject to that, or?
Yeah, there was something that I
Yeah, because
noticed.
we went through that with ones over on Wall Street, the tiny homes, remember that they were trying to put in, and we ended up actually looking at code and asked those questions, because you can't have them too close together, because, then the fire jumps from one to the other. And as far as if somebody wants to put a deck on, they could still come in for a variance.
Sure.
But we wouldn't need them to come in 2 times, for the small lot, and then the deck.
That's right.
And then the whatever.
Agreed.
But I think we do need to avoid the fire requirement, fire department requirements.
So we'll add the discussion to an agenda subject to Cassie's discussion with the fire department.
And one thing I was wondering about, because I know we came across this at one of our site surveys a while back, where a gentleman had complained about his neighbor building a porch, and we went back there and saw all the other neighbors had the same type of porch, but he was also complaining about the setback, but there was a tree in the middle of the setback, and so that violated the fire anyway. So one of the things I'm wondering about, if we should put some verbiage that no tree can be in the setback, between the houses, because right now, I don't know if that's there.
Yeah, those are big trees.
Yeah, and they were, it was a big tree there, and I was like, who owns this tree? And apparently that neighbor that was complaining owned that tree, and I said, are you going to remove that tree? And he said, no. And then I said, well, then we're not going to.
I don't know. I think that's a situation we'd want to, rather than make it mandatory in the ordinance, we'd want to put it in a situation where they had to come to the planning commission.
Right. Well,
Just take
that's
approval for that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a
I just-
case-by-case deal.
It was weird, because that's one of the things that
Well,
was kind of interesting,
I
is
think-
seeing a big old tree right between the houses, and it was.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cassie? Is not Cassie. What's her name? Jess. Jess, yes. Can I ask a question? Yeah. Okay, so just a quick question. When it's new construction, and you may or may not know this answer, maybe it's another thing that we need to ask about. When the building inspector is going out to a property and somebody is looking at, I've got this size lot, here's my setbacks, and this is what I want to do. Is there anything in the code that says that you are not allowed to plant trees or have any other obstructions within that setback? I mean, I know it applies for like fences and things like that, but it probably doesn't, there's probably nothing for trees, right?
I'm unaware at this time, but we can get back to you on that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know it would
was
be,
interesting.
it would be the case in like a fence,
Right.
because you'd have to get approval for
Right.
that fence, and they
Right.
may say, you can't build a fence here because you don't have enough of a setback, or it has to be here, or whatever, right?
Yep.
But I don't think there's anything on trees.
I don't think that, property rights, unless it's historic district, HDC specifications or requirements, but, with property rights, as long as you can plant a tree in a setback if you want to, or any kind of greenery, as long as you're not being obstructive for your neighbors or anything like that. I mean, property rights carry a lot of.
Right.
Well, right now in the code, if you have a tree closer than 10 feet,
Right.
you can cut it down, or apply to cut it down. So, indirectly, I guess you wouldn't, logical, somebody wouldn't plant a tree between an 8-foot
I mean,
barrier,
somebody
you know.
that has a house probably logically would say, okay, I don't want to direct my foundation.
Right,
But
that's what, yeah, that would be the normal.
I guess that doesn't matter. I'm just trying to think of,
That's the
because
only
we're
thing
going to a
that
smaller
was
lot.
the only thing I've seen since I've been on planning was it was really weird where, okay, there's this huge tree, it obviously is in the block, you know, if there was a fire, it would take both houses down.
Right.
Yeah, right between the houses, okay. Well, that's all I had. Anything else?
So are we,
What are the areas that the commission is currently in agreement on? Is it A, 4,000 to 3,200?
I think we agree on
I
that.
think we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the setback.
8 feet?
Okay,
200.
and also we need to make it clear that when we do the ordinance, if we pass it, 8 foot on either side, because there's some discussion that, is it 8 foot total or whatever?
I should- I
So
think
we
it
need to
should be both
clarify that in
sides.
code,
Right,
too,
that's what
that
that's
it's
what I was
8
getting
foot
at.
aside.
It should be side to side,
Yeah,
or, yeah.
I think that's my interpretation of the code now, it's 10 foot, but I mean, there's some,
It'd be the three sides, and then what about parking?
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of reducing
yeah,
parking.
parking, I
So
got to
is it
think
two,
about.
is it two parking
They
spots?
Yeah.
have to have two spots?
And really, I think we need, if somebody wants to come in for variance on that, I think we'll let them do that because the lots would be different on what street they're on. In some streets, there's off-street parking, and you can say, okay, we'll give them a variance. In other streets, there's not any room, like on Pine Street, say. I mean, you know, some streets in
Well,
town.
and like that house that we just approved over there over there by the Crescent, you know, they didn't, that lot was long and skinny,
Yeah,
but they wanted a one-story house. They could have built a two-story house and had more room for parking, or had adequate space for parking.
yeah.
So, you know, I think that's the choice of the homeowner
Right, right.
based on the lot that they're buying and based on the type of house that they want to build. I don't think we should change the parking
Yeah,
either.
I agree. Yeah, man, I'm not going to push that. Yeah, because like I say, it's going to vary. I mean, if we did do it, you know, if we leave it like it is now, somebody comes in for a variance, we can look at where it's located in the town and what's around it and decide if it's, you know, reasonable or not.
So right now, we've got an action item. We've got the fire marshal, like the
Except it's
8-foot
fire
one.
marshal.
And then, but yeah, that's good. So we'll keep it on the agenda for next time. So to come back to it. All right, next fence discussion, and that's me. Well, guys, I have done a lot of driving.
Motion to discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry, motion. Sorry, violate my own rules. Anyway, I've done a lot of driving around town to kind of get an appraisal of how many fences are there and what are the shapes are they in. For every one fence, 2 are on the ground. So they're in really bad shape.
What kind of fences? Just any kind?
I mean, I've seen everything from picket fences to, I've even seen chain link fences already up in front of people's houses. On Mountain Street, for instance, there's 4 different types of fences, and out of the 4 different types, every one of them are falling down. They're not in good maintenance condition. So it's like, you know, one of the things that, you know, as far as the fence ordinance, we're going to have to put a lot of emphasis on the aesthetics and maintenance of a fence, because right now,
There's a difference from historic to
right, just a fence.
district
I'm
as well.
concerned we've never gotten involved in fences. Where is this coming from?
Well, it came from the public, the code officer asked us to look at providing one, because we don't have one in town, and it really looks bad. Some of these fallen down fences are in really bad
HDC
shape.
not have anything to do with this? Because we don't,
In the historic district, HDC has guidelines regarding fences.
okay. but-
And
yeah.
when people ask to put them up, I send them those guidelines. I thought I sent those to you, but I might not have, so I can send those out. But of course, we don't need, even for HDC, there is the fence rules for those, you know, neighborhoods with a lot of contributing properties, and then there's a less strict set of rules for those that aren't.
Right,
Can I say?
yeah.
I just want to be careful about property owners' rights, you know.
Oh, no, I understand.
I know there's in the code that it says if you have like a junkyard or something, you have to have a fence to block that. Or if the fence, the existing fence is somehow a public hazard, you know, that's falling into the walkway or something like that. But for us to, other than outside the HDC in the historic district, for us to try to regulate people's fences based on our own interpretation of what's right and wrong, I think is a bad thing to do. But
Correct.
if you see
Correct.
something that is a public hazard,
yeah.
that the police or the fire department is making that something we could issue on a specific instance, but to say that we're going to start setting guidelines to tell people how can they make their fences is just something I'm not comfortable with.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe I did include in all of your packets, Paul sent me a section of I believe it was Fayetteville's ordinance concerning fences.
Right.
And he just sent it out as sort of an idea, a starting point to look at, to see what other towns in the
Good.
area are doing.
That is sort of circulated already?
Yeah, it
It's
should be
already
in your
in the
packet.
back.
Oh,
Back
nice.
of your packet we got today.
Oh, nice.
So not in your book, you're in the packet that you got.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
It's right here. It just talks about, but it's very broad. It's a good start. Like I said, I guess I really hadn't looked at them until I started driving around town.
No, I know, you're exactly right.
And it was amazing and the reason why I was wondering, because my wife wanted me to put up a fence. And so I was like, well, what do I do? And there really isn't any, right now, I could put up a chain link fence, which would look horrible. But I've got a neighbor down the street from my house that has a chain link fence. So, I guess, but then on the other side of the coin, not just, it's good, it's up already and it's maintained, but there's so many that are not maintained well. I've got a neighbor on the other side that a strong wind has already pushed down half his fence. And it's that bad. So I'm not sure the enforcement,
Well, fences are a thing that can get out of control in a hurry if you're not careful.
Right.
And I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with one set of rules generally for the historic district, right?
Yeah.
And some modification of that for the rest of Eureka Springs. I think it's perfectly appropriate to hold up the integrity in the keeping of the historic, and they have their own rules.
Yeah, Tom.
There was a committee a while back about sidewalks down East Mountain and Pivot Rock, and that didn't go anywhere. But in looking at this available information, it said fences and walls adjacent to public streets or alleys must be placed no closer than 5 feet to the edge of the right-of-way. So you
They're
look
right
down
on there.
East Mountain, about every fence down there is probably in violation of that. So, if we do have some areas that don't have sidewalk, we'd be sure to look at, incorporating something there about, don't put a fence there if we're going to put a sidewalk there at some point in
just
time.
a sidewalk, yeah.
And then, because that's it. But yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to be, literally, this is a good, I say everybody look at this and take a look at this one from Fayetteville. I believe this is where it's from. And, but I think it's a good slice, I guess, so to speak, because we have nothing right now. Other than what I heard was, unless it's a 7-foot tall fence, there's really no other thing in the code. And it's and I was like, why is there a 7-foot fence? I haven't seen that in the code there, but it was so weird when he said that. I thought,
well, I would say this, is that nobody is a stronger advocate for personal property rights than me.
Yeah.
But I think you have to balance that with a test of reasonableness, aesthetics, to be able to protect the integrity of the city. And at the very minimum, there should be some consistent standard.
Well, yeah, and I agree. The biggest thing, we're a tourist place, and it's like, it's nice to have a historic building, but it shouldn't look, the front yard shouldn't look like it is 150 years old, because everything's decayed. And that's what this one yard I looked at, and I thought, well, where's the enforcement? So I'm not sure if the enforcement isn't there because
that's exactly right.
There's no code.
No, exactly.
So we've got to come up with something to get that to where our code officers.
Because it can get ugly in a hurry.
Yeah.
A wood fence only has probably a good, 8 years?
And it's not, you're
10
exactly
years?
right. It's not just the wood, it's just the wide variety of fences. I don't think that there's anything particularly wrong.
Artificial plastic. Just my street, I think there's at least 10 different versions of fences and from real wood to plastic to iron chain link fence. So yeah.
I make a motion that once we get done with the area development plan, that we hold a workshop on this.
Okay.
Second.
Very good. All right, second. All right, we'll do that. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. Okay. All right, next, let me see, what's next?
Billboards.
find my, back to the beginning. Billboard. So now we've got billboards. Cassie?
I don't have much to say. I just put my name there because I knew Paul wouldn't be there tonight. At the back of your packet should be an email from Paul that he sent to me where he asked RDOT some of those questions we asked him to follow up on last time. RDOT only regulates signs and billboards that are on the highway. They do not regulate those on private property, and the city must approve a billboard before RDOT can approve it.
Oh, that
So-
seems weird.
But now, if we approve it, can RDOT can deny it?
Yes.
Seemingly, yes.
Okay.
So,
But if it's on private property,
No.
then that's our parameters. Yeah, that's what got me a little bit, I didn't mean to interject there, motion to discuss, I guess. Anyway, yeah, just the confusion there. It says the RDOT will do for, on the highway, but then it says business on private property. That's just on us. Because one of the signs that we were discussing previously at 23 and 62, it was on the highway access of 62, but the owner said they owned that property, so that would be our issue.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Well, that's what it sounds like.
I'm confused.
That's what it says. RDOT allows the city to approve all business signs on private property. They do not regulate business signs.
So this is
But
that
they
means-
also say that, he also says that RDOT has to approve after the city approves, but what signs are on
But on
anything
the
but private
highway.
property?
Yeah.
But on the highway.
They're all going to be on private property. The state's not going to grant you the right to put a sign on
yeah,
state
you
highway.
can't put it any closer than so feet from the highway anyway, and so you're.
Well, then that's a right-of-way.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, they're approving the right-of-way inside of private property. They're all on private property, unless I'm missing something.
Yeah.
Right. No, no,
Right?
no, I
Unless the
agree.
city owns some property somewhere,
agree.
right, or the state does, and that's a one-off.
Yeah.
But these are all on private property.
Yeah.
So the way I interpret this is the city has to approve it first, since they're all on private property,
Right.
right? And then it still needs to go to RDOT or not?
That's what it sounds like. It still has.
RDOT allows the city to approve all business signs on private property, and so since all of them are going to be on private property
Right.
in our jurisdiction,
Right.
they do not regulate
There-
business signs.
And the sign code, so, and I may not be right on this. So if you have a billboard and you have to repair the billboard, that's fine. If the billboard is destroyed, it doesn't come back.
And that's by our ordinance,
That's by our
not by
ordinance.
RDOT.
Right.
Okay. Because I think that's where a lot of the confusion
Right.
came from this last one. So,
Yep.
okay.
Got it.
Also, not positive, but I do think in that email, there's perhaps a difference between business signs and billboards. It would seem to me that, because he said that billboards on the highway, RDOT approves, business signs on private property are just city. I'm not sure what the definition of a business sign
Aha.
versus a billboard is.
Oh, I see what you're saying,
but
business
I would
signs
assume there's
versus
a
billboards.
difference there.
So if you have a tenant who's a business in that shopping center, or they own that building, and that's their business, that's a separate and distinct
Yes.
Right.
approval than a for-profit billboard.
Right.
Right? Okay, I get
That's
that.
exactly. I think that's
Like
exactly.
advertising something that's not.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
So, well, let me make,
So in
sure I'm
that
clear on
case,
something. So I have a billboard, let's just say, and it is for profit. It's not for my business. And that billboard is destroyed. It was otherwise approved prior to its being destroyed. I don't have the right to erect it again?
not if it's by ordinance, if it's,
By ordinance, if it's destroyed, it's gone and it's not.
Okay.
and it's in here.
Okay,
And
no, I
think-
got it, I got it. I'm just
I think
making
they
sure.
did
I'm-
that
It's kind
because
of-
there's
and
so
yeah,
many
you know,
billboards.
And is it, and the word destroyed, I mean, a car hits it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or lightning hits it, it burns to the ground, or, I don't know, I
Well,
mean,
and that was
Oh,
the
no, we
other.
went through, no, I've been through this before, the jurisdictions, we
Is
systematically
it one
wanted
stick
to
still standing?
make sure
or
they
is
never
it
came up.
Three
I get it.
sticks still standing?
I
Or
get
is
it.
it one, you
I just
know?
want to make sure. I'm not opposed to it. I want to understand. That's all.
That's where I was.
I think it's also,
Same spot.
yeah, but I think we all learned a lesson from this, that if we have the situation again, that the ordinance needs to be quoted of where, if this is a situation where it is not put back,
Right,
that would be very helpful to us.
right.
So, and
But it is also beneficial to know that regardless of RDOT's involvement,
Right.
we have to approve first.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
No,
Yeah, is that-
say one thing. Go ahead. No, I was going to say that the public does need to be aware that if their sign is destroyed, we're not going to approve a new sign. They need to
Well,
know
it
that.
depends on where the sign is. But I think that's a Paul issue.
Okay.
He deals with that, and then if we need to get involved, we need to get involved.
Right.
I mean, because they could always come to us, they could always be denied and come to us for a variance,
Right.
which would allow them still to do it,
Well,
if we voted to give that to them.
Because right now, as it stands, if my sign is destroyed, I have to go get an application for a new sign, and they're going to deny it right there because we're not allowing new signs.
Well, there's a difference between a sign and a billboard.
Right.
Yes.
So I
Business.
think,
I'm sorry,
I'm
just in
talking,
general, yeah.
I'm talking billboards.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
But that's good to have it clarified
it is
that way.
clarified.
No, it's a fair point. It is separating the definition.
As I'm sorry, but I meant, I apologize, I was just saying billboards in general, if it's destroyed, you have to go back and apply for a new one. And at that point, whoever does the review is going to deny it because we're not even allowing new ones, even if it's yours destroyed.
Well, if it's destroyed and there's a portion of it that is still there, you can rebuild it, and
repair
it wouldn't be considered a new build. It would be a build, a repair of an existing. You couldn't move it, it has to be in the same spot, but it would be a repair of an existing sign. So you wouldn't have to apply again for that sign.
You can repair
Only
it.
if, you can repair it, but you
That's the issue we came with out there on 62 out by Passion Play, that was a sign that was, you understand, when we had the trouble with.
Yeah, but we
as
can't
far as-
talk about that.
Yeah.
That's a lawsuit pending on.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, anyway, I just want to clarify. If I have a sign, a billboard on the side of the road that's promoting my business or whatever, and that sign is destroyed, be weather, whatever it is, am I allowed to put it under current code? Can I build a new billboard if I apply for it, or are we
It
issuing?
depends on if it's on premises or off premises.
When you say premises, what do you mean?
So off premises would be, you don't own that property.
Okay. Public
And then
right away of some kind.
that billboard isn't for your business on that property.
Okay.
And I think some of these signs were grandfathered signs.
Right.
So it's, they were done so long ago that maybe it was the Wild West when it came to billboards and
Yep.
all of these rules weren't in place, but they are now.
I'd like to clarify my point. When I make a decision about approving a sign, I need to know that if it was a destroyed sign and we do not approve those, then I'm not going to. I just need.
So are you
I need a little more.
so-
I need a little more
Well,
clarification.
I think Paul will put it in writing for
Right.
us,
Good.
that per ordinance, blah, blah,
Right, the
blah.
line, so.
They are not permitted, or whatever the language is.
And I think that was one of the questions I had was, do we just not understand the rules? Or is the application not correct? So when the application is filled out, is that information in there? That goes to your point of, is it a grandfathered sign? Is it a billboard? Is it is it on property? Is it not on property? And if they fill out this, then maybe it says, if this, then this,
That-
which was originally what we had talked about the last meeting.
The confusion I was getting into is like the sign is already there and it deteriorates because weather conditions, wind, whatever kind of tears it up. My understanding of that, whoever approved it in the first place, then that pretty much says you can put in, if you're not happy with your sign as is to promote whatever product, that you have the right to replace that to give the same kind of effect that you put up for initially. In other words, if I put a sign up for the Holiday Inn 2 miles ahead, my sign goes to crap because of weather conditions. Will I be reissued? Do I have to apply for a new permit to repair my existing sign? And is the way this code's written right now, we're not allowing new signs. It's just a clarification I'm trying to find out.
Oh, I see. You want to know whether or not the building inspector
Yeah.
still has to give his okay for you to do it.
To repair it, yes. That's what got us in trouble on the one down on 23, I think in 62.
Right.
Is he gave permission to repair it, and they moved it
Right.
Rebuild it.
and rebuilt it.
It was a brand new sign.
It was a brand-new sign. So,
Right.
Yeah,
I just think that,
more clarification will work for me.
you know, we might have it straight in our mind now, but, you know, a year from now, we're all going to be asking the same questions again. So that's why I said, I love that he gave us a clarification, but do we need to update the application
Right.
to make sure that
I think possibly so.
that
Or we'll have
those
a-
things are there so that if you're brand new to planning, if somebody else is sitting in every one of these chairs and they haven't been through this, then there's safeguards to prompt you to ask the right questions,
Right, right.
I guess.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
And our application is under review for updating.
It is.
Based on what
Fair
we
enough.
have seen.
Okay.
Because of some of these questions that have been presented.
Okay.
And a little better
Okay.
defined.
I think it's perfectly appropriate if you do that, if you make some changes. This wouldn't be the only place that sets forth philosophical concepts that set the policy going forward. So if business people and billboard owners know that it's generally the conceptual policy of Eureka Springs that we don't want more billboards, right? I mean, and then that's perfectly appropriate to set up that general policy. If these things get destroyed, they're not going to be approved for rebuild. That's nothing new, by the way. That we're not an outlier in thinking that way.
Right.
And if you made a business decision not to repair your sign, to keep it in repair, or if there's a hazard and you didn't insure it like a lot of big billboard companies do, we're not here to protect your revenue source based on our concept for the city. I think it's perfectly appropriate.
Great, okay, all right. So is that any more? Anything else? Okay?
No.
All right, well, there goes. So, all right, we move to item number 4, area development workshop discussion, which is going to go till March 25th, and we have it again. And
Yeah, I'll get that.
have any updates, Cassie? Anything?
Getting that scheduled. I've ordered one more map that looks just like the ones we have, but has the township range and section lines on them. So I'll bring that next time too, so we can get a better idea. And I can send this out, or we can just pass it around right now. I showed Tom when he came by my office. This is just a rough. It's just has our municipality boundary on it, and then what a 1 mile buffer is, just so you can kind of vaguely get an idea of what the limit is on just the 1 mile. It's not to the detail of what the areas we were actually discussing last time. It's not in any kind of good or coherent shape. It is a rough draft. So I don't know if anyone wants to take a look at that.
Thank you.
Nice. The 25th is the meeting, right?
Oh, yeah. He has a lot of acreage, a lot of acreage. So that was,
Got it.
a lot of acreage.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we can do that like on our 25th of March workshop.
Sure.
All right? Okay? All right.
I was hoping it wouldn't be some kind of a weird little symbol like a heart or something.
A heart. There you go. So now we need to move to approve
What time
the
is the
minutes.
workshop? Is it at 5?
Oh.
Are we doing it 5 or 6?
Is it 5? Workshop?
I was going to schedule it for 5 unless it's easier for everyone to get here at 6.
5's great with me.
Sure.
5's fine with me, too.
Good.
It's on your painting schedule soon?
5 o'clock? Okay.
Good. All right. Okay, so approval of minutes from February 25th. Everyone get a copy of the February 25th minutes?
Motion to approve minutes from February 25th?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of February 25th. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're good? All right, we got that done. All right, meeting date for November 2025. Oh, yeah, we were talking about that was going to be Veterans Day. We were going to find another date.
So I talked with Christina, and the dates that this space is open in November that are also not on the week of Thanksgiving are Thursday the 6th, Thursday the 13th, Friday the 14th, or Friday the 21st.
I don't want Friday.
I don't want Friday either.
Yeah, I think 13th sounds good to me, even though Friday, it's Friday.
Earlier the better. So.
Are we doing 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Okay,
So I'll just push it 2 days from what it would have been scheduled as.
okay, March 13th it is. All right.
Do we need to vote on it, or are we okay
Probably
just to?
should.
Okay.
Okay.
I make a motion that we change our November 11th meeting to November 13th, 2025.
Yeah.
The meeting will be at 6 PM.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to move the November meeting to the 13th of November. All approve?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're good. All right, there we go. All right. Agenda setting for April 8th, regular meeting next month. Any agenda items that we haven't already? We're going to have some of these come back. Anybody have anything that's hot that want to bring up on the agenda for next time?
Can we keep the billboard on there and just ask to see the new application?
Okay. All right, good. All right. Okay.
And we're not anticipating a workshop on that date.
The
Right.
25th is
Because we
when,
have it on the 25th, got it.
Right.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So now we have commissioner comments. Ann?
None?
Michael?
I just want to thank everybody that volunteers to work with the city, all of us and the other commissions and the city council. I mean, this is a serious job, and I appreciate citizens in stepping up and volunteering their time and to put their neck on the noose to make decisions that are not always happy and not always well planned or well accepted. So thank everybody for your hard work and your dedication.
All right. Tom?
No comment.
Dave?
I'll be unusually silent, no comment.
Susan?
I just know that we have one position still open on planning.
Right.
So it'd be nice if we could maybe get some applications.
Right.
But like you said, I mean, you are kind of putting yourself out there, so.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it.
Okay, I agree. Yeah, any applicants out there that want to join us here at the Planning Commission and Boza Board, we'd love to have you. Just apply at the mayor's office. Kim Stryker or the other lady will take your...
Christina Floyd.
Ms. Floyd, okay. And she'll take your application, and we hope to see you here. We've also got a parade coming up this Saturday. It is the
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's Day. No, I couldn't say it. St. Patrick's Day parade, and that'll be this Saturday. So I hope everybody gets out there and has a good time. And I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right, we're adjourned.
Well, you got to vote. You have to vote.
Oh, we have to vote. Okay.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
What time somebody going to say no?
Kim Stryker's retiring, right?
Yes.